So don't know much about it, so I read up, but very curious, and there's a lot that we'll get to know in this session. We'll focus on gaming and esports, evolution, who's doing what's the future, everything, and we have an expert. The first question that comes to our mind is that the certain surge that we have seen in gaming and esports and it becoming a mainstream, what do you attribute this to?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in front of you and share whatever I know about gaming and esports. If you look at gaming and esports as a medium, it's not surprising how it has also grown, right? You see the internet penetration, you see how hardware is advanced, you see the kind of games which are coming in, which is so immersive. You see a lot of the virtual reality hardware which has come in. I think that has really helped to push gaming. There is also an aspect of immersive entertainment. People who play games, they want to be immersive, they want to experience something beyond what they live day to day. I think all of that really pushed gaming in the country.
And the first goal goes.
These helped us to ensure that we as a brand are able to focus to this community, because if you look at this community age group 16 to 25 predominantly, they are very digital first. They are always online. They want to have content, they want to be part of something which makes them feel that they belong to a community or a tribe. So all of this gaming provides, or esports provides, right? I think if you look at the numbers, for example, India currently has around 500 million gamers, projected to grow around 700 million gamers by 28. So all these numbers seems very big, and I think it's a space where any marketer who wants to talk to this age group is something. Gaming is something which should be top of their list of areas they need to market.
So glad that you put that up. It's a very different environment, that gaming, specifically talking about gaming. When you are present in that environment, how do you manage to be non-intrusive, and what's the kind of parameters that you look at as success when you are in that environment?
It's a great question. See, as a marketeer, we are forced to report numbers, and we are forced to say that we got so many clicks and we need immediate results out of everything we do, right? But gaming is more long term. Gaming, you need to stay invested in it, but the results are multifold. When we do advertising gaming, it's has to be non-intrusive. If you look at that age group of that 16 to 25 age group, they hate intrusive ads. They despise things which stops their experience of their online behavior. So when you look at gaming, it has to be part of their experience. When you market inside the game, it has to be part of the experience. For example, we work with a lot of game developers to have our brand presence inside the game world itself, right? That's very important, because it's about stickiness in the long term and not being intrusive. Even if you look at traditional, or these days traditional way of influencer marketing as well, it's not just about having an ad or them talking about something, right? It's about how knowing the creator, how they present the way they present, and how we can integrate along with their content. That really helps to ensure that the brand, whoever is doing marketing, is not coming as intrusive, because that's the first way they will dissociate yourself from that. So very important to know the community, very important to know that this is not a short term exercise. Being part of the gaming ecosystem is long term, and you really need to work for the community. They need to feel that you are there to support the gaming community in whatever they are doing. So I think these are very important for any marketer to keep in mind when they venture into esports, or when they venture into marketing in the gaming space.
Yep, so mentioned about community, and that brings me specifically to esports. The three things that really matter: one, community, the second is relationship, and the third is the kind of loyalty. So how do you cater to the esport audience specifically?
Yeah, so Acer as a brand, I think we are one of the pioneers, for example, in esports. Right now, we're probably the only brand who has consistently been present in esports at an international scale from this country itself, right? So we have something called Predator Gaming League, which we do every year, which is a year-round kind of engagement, culminating into a large tournament where the prize money is up to $400,000, right? So it's not a small money, right? So this kind of support which any brand provides, which means just they don't just come flash in the pan kind of marketing and get out of it, but something where we go deeper into the roots, ensure that the community is able to learn, they're able to kind of grow in the esports community, right? The word esports itself is meaning competitive sport, right? And they are able to make a career out of it. Like when I just touched upon the prize money which we are offering, right? That's a huge prize money. I mean, a lot of the traditional sports even doesn't give that kind of prize money. So esports now has become a legitimate career. If you look at probably 10 years back, a lot of the tournament or a lot of these gaming was not seen to be very friendly to somebody's future career. If somebody is gaming a lot, I'm sure the parents will come and say, why are you gaming? Go and study, right? But that's not the case these days. There is a very lucrative career which you can do in esports. It's as competitive as any other sports these days, and it's very important to see that aspect and approach esports similarly how we approach other sports as well. So that's why we believe that community and being part of that community is very important, and not just come market our laptops and gadgets and then not really be part of that. I think that's the most important lessons we have seen.
Absolutely. So the era of attention economy, where particularly the age group that you cater to, what is it that you measure as a success? What's the ROI? How do you manage to know what kind of recall? It will be great to know about this aspect.
Yeah, so like I touched upon the previous question, it cannot be a short term gain. I mean, if you look at, you cannot do click throughs and conversions and all of that metrics for in-game marketing, right? So the results come from long-term brand loyalty, long-term brand stickiness. You're looking at an age group of, let's say, the Gen Z age group, who's gonna be a earner in few years down the line. He's gonna be earning for the next 30-40 years in his life. So as a brand, when you kind of have the loyalty from that age group, you are able to ensure that he sticks with you for the long term, right? So if you plan, let's say, a marketing budget or a marketing campaign, do not put gaming as your conversion or a lower funnel or even a mid funnel, right? This has to be a long-term brand building. It is something which you see lifetime value of the customer, how that customer is able to be with you for the long term. And Acer is an endemic brand, but we see now a lot of non-endemic brands coming to esports, right? From clothing to automobiles, a lot of them coming and being part of the esports community, right? That tells you a lot that esports or gaming as a community has really seen value for marketeers. It has given results for them, and a lot of these, even banking, for example, I've seen a lot of banking companies also coming and showing interest for gaming, because we run a lot of tournaments, so they come and ask us, can we partner with some of them, right? So I think these are very important nuances or these signals which comes, which really shows how important this community has become for marketeers and for brands to tap into.
Yeah, that's a great insight. If we look at the other side, we talk about the gamers, but if we're looking at the gaming companies now, and you mentioned that in the previous answer, the studies suggest that not many are able to sustain. According to you, what does it take to have a long-lasting presence and be absolutely credible in this ecosystem?
I think consistency, content, and context is very important for any brand to be part of this gaming community. Like I said, if you think, okay, somebody is coming and telling you esports is growing, some of the brand partners or agency partners comes and tells you this is something you should look at, and then maybe we do a trial, and then you say maybe I didn't get immediate results, and then you don't invest back into the same community, then you don't see the results, right? So it's very important. Like I said, consistency, context, all are very important when you market. And the way you market is also very important. Gamers should feel that the brand is being part of the environment they are in and not being intrusive to them. If you look at some of the numbers, for example, there is growth of 66% of gamers from rural areas, right? It's a huge number. It's just not a metro phenomena that you're seeing gaming. This also, because of pandemic, accelerated quite a lot in terms of people engaging with gaming and esports. So I think for any brand, I think if you consider these three C, I think they should be doing well in the gaming community.
So, is it that the audience, the segment that we are talking about, is a new one, or do you think it's the kind of a same segment who's doing a new, different things, not a fatigued, tired by seeing all sorts of advertising, or completely new? What's your take on that?
It's a great question. See, when you look at the age group, it's the same, right? You go Gen Z, you have the same age group. You see millennial age group, but it's about what they do, the intent, the psychographic, more than just the age group. So when we see our own data, like there are obviously a lot of gamers at that 16 to 25 level, but then there are also a lot of gamers in the millennial space. There are lot of gamers who are in the casual gaming space. Spoke about esports, but then there's a huge community of gamers who are not just on esports, but they just want to spend time on casual gaming as well, right? So the growth from rural, the kind of growth we see as a country in terms of gaming audience is phenomenal, right? So what marketers should keep in mind is not just the age group, but then what are they doing, their psychographic, where are they spending time, those are more important. And the audience which are actually in the gaming and esports arena are actually high spenders. They are able to afford high-end hardware, they are also digitally aware, right? So a lot of these culminate into a group which are highly valuable for a lot of the marketeers, especially people selling even higher value products as well.
And so let's look at a little bit of an environment. We spoke about the gamers, gaming companies, and all. But say, suppose the integration that has to be done, gaming sites, esports, mainstreaming platforms, multiple places. How can it be least non-intrusive and effective? Some examples that may come to your mind, or ideal way to go forward on this.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some large examples, I was seeing a while back, maybe a couple of years back, one ad where Obama's election campaign was run through some of the sporting gaming games like NBA 2K, FIFA, and all of that. So these kind of things, even from that era onwards, people are looking at gaming. Another example which I have seen before was Wiz Khalifa's event was promoted on a gaming platform. So the fact is they are promoted as a branding on the arena. Acer, for example, has done a lot of branding in EA Sports, which is the football franchisee, right? So we partnered with City Group Football, and then we had logos across the arena which goes through. So when they play the game, they are seeing Acer logo going across, or when they see a scoreboard, they're seeing an Acer logo. So it's all about how you smartly integrate without being intrusive, having overlays, having logos which are part of the gaming environment, or maybe when they travel through a gaming world, how would you place your products seamlessly? I think those are very important because that's where you get the stickiness than just being a pop-up which comes when they start a game.
Yeah, so that's probably the ideal way to go forward. We spoke about everything, but let's look at the macro picture. Where do you think India is right now? What are the growths that we are expecting in medium term, long term? How do you see gaming and esports growing in India?
Yeah,
And
so
how do we stack ourselves against what's happening elsewhere?
if you look at across the world, India is just behind China in terms of the gaming audience. So you can see the kind of volume. You're seeing the penetration of internet across. People are able to pick up their mobile or use a laptop, start playing online games, and the competitiveness of those games really push them to come back again and again. Right? What's happening is that before the esports phenomena started, a lot of the games you finish your game and then you don't play that again. But with competitive esports, you're playing against real human beings, right? So the skill level is always going up. You're playing with different experts. So that's something which keeps the gamers coming back again and again and again, right? We also have a lot of publishers who are actually bringing games which are esports compatible, and that's something which we see when we talk to different game publishers. They bring a lot of the games first to India and China and other Asian countries, or parallelly launching across the world, including India, right? So that kind of shows how relevant we are. We have literally seen around 25 to 30% growth year on year for gaming in terms of our engagement, the way our sales numbers have been on gaming products, and gaming is also expanding to multiple level. Right? There is mobile gaming, there is laptop, there is handheld gaming, then there is online in terms of just logging into a website and playing. So the audience are across, and each audience has its own behavior. Esports audience a little different to very casual gaming audience. So you need to be sure which kind of gaming audience you're going behind, and then you need to tailor your communication and how you be present in those communities in that sense, right? So it's not just one size fits all kind of approach. Even at gaming level, there are multiple way or multiple kind of games which are there. So depending on that, marketers should look at that and then decide on how they need to be present in those mediums.
Super. The last question, and this concerns a little bit of me as well, is that somebody who's not into gaming, is there something that should be done, and what is it that would get new segments, new consumers to gaming and esports?
Yeah, so when we see even in the millennials or boomers in some sense, we are actually seeing even that age group coming and playing games right now. When they start playing, it might not be competitive esports per se, but they are dabbling because they have time on their hand, they're traveling, they need to spend some time, and they don't want to watch always Netflix or whatever when there's a downtime, right? So there is a lot of audience who's starting at a casual level, and then the interest picks up, and then they want to try out something, little bit of LAN or a little bit of online gaming, and then the bug bites them saying, hey, this actually is something which keeps me entertained, right? So it's about, if you have never gamed before, it's about trying it out, ensuring that you start gaming which is easy for you to start with, and then slowly build up on that, and then obviously there is a career also in esports. One good thing about esports is that it's not a physical sports in some sense where you need to retire at 40 or 40, when your body can't do physical exertion. That's not there. As long as your mind is sharp, you can always be an esports player, right? So I think that's something maybe you should think of.
That's an encouragement. Yeah, I'll think of taking that up. Thank you. I got a lot of insights, got to know a lot about. Do we have time for anyone? Okay. Anyone has questions? Okay, everything was absolutely clear and lucid. Yeah. So we'll wrap up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, really insightful.
Thank you so much.